having to sit around and wait for batteries to charge is why I really prefer doing overnight hotel stays. Fairly quiet night outside of some traffic down below. This has been one of the nicest AT style camps I've had. Just isolated enough where you don't have people coming by in the morning, and I don't have to worry about bothering anybody with the sound of me editing videos, which took a while because I had to cut like 20 minutes out of yesterday's video of me just blathering on about different trails and plans. So I think today is get to Manchester and hold on the trail outside of town, but we'll see. You never know. Could end up in Manchester, back on trail by the end of the day, in Manchester in a hotel room. Hell, I could break my leg and get helicoptered off the trail again. You just never know out here. Jen gets after me all the time for saying things like that, but I try to explain. It's just my optimistic realism. Cheerfully expect everything to go wrong. Be pleasantly surprised when, you know, your face and genitals aren't munched off by a escaped monkey any given day. Well, my intention had been to send a few messages and then head on pretty quick, but there were a couple of guys when I came around the corner, so I've been talking for way too long. But oh well, I am going to have to hold before Manchester today and go in the morning, so it'll be a short day. But then I will have both a heavy pack and no restrictions on me for getting to Dalton. So when I came up here in 2021, Jen was with me, and we were in the middle of a series of rainstorms. I remember jumping around on the wet rocks. So I was talking with Jen and looking at the map a little. It does look like there is a grocery store that is pretty much right off the trail at North Adams, which is 25 miles short of Dalton, 24. So my intention had been to do the whole 80 miles from Manchester to Dalton in one go, but I think I'm going to adjust that down. I'll do another 50-mile carry, and then I'll be able to grab deli sandwiches and some better food for that last 24 miles. So that gives me a plan for the remainder of this. Once I'm in Dalton, the idea is get a rental car, which we hope will be doable. They're letting us book a one-way car online anyway. That is often a challenge. I've never been able to get a straight answer out of anybody at one of the rental car companies. I know it is sometimes dependent on whether they have stock or not, but I swear there are some areas that just do not do one-way rental cars ever. I want to do a rental car instead of flying or anything, because that way I can make a few stops along the way, swap out my phone, do the resupply for the start of the Bent Mackay, which I have to start looking at the food carries down there now that this is pretty much wrapped logistically. I am both really looking forward to tomorrow, and I am kind of bummed I don't get a full day. Yesterday, and heck, even the day before, felt like good full days, and I was so tired by the time I got into the tent. I barely finished dinner before I fell asleep. And that is always nice. That is one of those things Jen and I talk about when we're off trail, how much we miss that just kind of full body tiredness that we get out here. When we did things like, you know, the Mississippi, we were tired, we were working, you know, we were rowing the entire time, etc. But it's still not the same as how tired you get carrying a full pack and doing this kind of variable terrain. These mud bridges are nice, but you got to watch them. I've seen a few where they popped up because one of the nails was missing. And then, of course, back in 21, there was one section that was kind of notorious because people kept stepping off the end of the mud bridge and sinking up to, I think it was like their waist in the mud. I am a trust but verify sort of person, so I always took big steps and used my trekking poles, but I remember the pictures of people plunging. I did dig out the couple of pictures I had from this section still on my phone. I offloaded most of the video clips and everything onto a hard drive, because, you know, I only have a terabyte on my phone, and I make a lot of videos every year. And it is kind of funny just how much different it looks. That shelter yesterday in spring versus fall, and just how much mud there was, even though I was there after the actual mud season. Okay, so I think I just figured it out. Bromley Mountain in about 7 miles actually has power, so I'm going to go there. I'm going to charge up my bank, so tomorrow I won't need as much time in town, and that'll kind of make use of the shorter day today. And I mean, after that, I descend down to Manchester, so I'm not going to stay up there. Too high a chance of being occupied. But once I'm full up on power, I'll go down, sleep a little before the road, and the person that's going to come meet me and take me into Manchester will be there at 8 a.m. So hopefully by about, I don't know, noon, I will be loaded up, full, caffeinated, and then be back on trail to head for now North Adams. I'm not going to go all the way to Dalton, well, on one food carry. I'll get enough food tomorrow to get me to North Adams, and then North Adams, I'll get a whole bunch of like deli food and nicer stuff, guac and sandwiches. And then that'll take me the last 24 miles to Dalton. I am really hoping I can get a new Sawyer squeeze. I might even take a quick draw at this point, assuming it's functional. I backflushed this thing twice yesterday, and it is still just trickling. I kind of have put it through a fair amount of abuse lately. Yeah. Plus side of doing the long trail this direction is the climbs all get a lot easier. Trail gets better, I can just cruise. Downside, they're kind of less fun and adventurous. I'm on Piru, I think. I still have Bromley up ahead, so at least I have a bit more up. Big, long, steady climbs are kind of my favorite type of terrain. Just got recognized by another guy. It's kind of funny. I mean, I post things as day of as possible. I don't really have to worry about security, you know, people coming out to find me. The videos end up being a week behind just due to the realities of battery and internet access. And then usually the Instagram, Facebook live story stuff is live. But still, I mean, I've had friends on trail or people on trail around me. And when you're out here, it seems obvious. It's like, oh yeah, I'm in this section. Why didn't you think you would run across me when you're off trail? Not to mention, somebody trail angeled for me when I was in Florida on the Eastern Continental Trail. And then he started coming southbound on the AT. And I was all excited to run into him again and get, you know, a selfie and yada yada. And we got within like 20 miles of each other. And it turned out he had taken I think he took a Blue Blaze to go swimming, and then I went in to the stop everybody was doing to get a cheeseburger and chicken fingers, because that was like a staple of all the little delis on the AT through that section. And we ended up missing each other.
Were you still in trees now down here?
Yeah. The color change has happened while I've been hiking. I have been running into a good amount of day hikers and section hikers today. Guy on the top of that last peak style, I think it is, he said the hurricane had turned away, so that's good. And I saw some pop up when I connected to check messages that the drought was extended. It does look like it is trending a little bit cooler, at least where I was pulling it from. It wasn't looking like it was going to be too severe, but I really got to start sleeping with my filter again, I guess. So from here, I drop down, do a quick road crossing, and then it is up and over Bromley. Hopefully with maybe an hour spent plugged into a wall there. People have really been stepping up. This area is a little dry depending what your mileage is. I'm still carrying a fair amount, and I'm intending to get water on the far side of Bromley. Okay, should be a hut with plugs up here somewhere. That looks vaguely familiar. Okay, plugs are working, so I can hopefully get this battery pack back up, charge my phone. We'll see. Sometimes power can be a little funny in cabins and things. And then a couple of more miles tonight. Unfortunately, this does mean I have to sit around when I'd rather be walking, but oh well. There's apparently even a privy up here somewhere. Just a little bit longer. Okay, it is after 6, and I have officially sat still for as long as I can take it. It is really nice they leave that open for hikers and nice facilities and all, but I'm really not out here to stay in stuff like that. I just like camping. So I don't have a lot of daylight left. It took me a little longer to charge, but I have a 25K battery. But I am good. Tomorrow I will just top off my phone, and both of my batteries are full, which should hopefully get me down to Dalton. Having to sit around and wait for batteries to charge is why I really prefer doing overnight hotel stays and taking care of everything at once. At least there I can feel productive and recover. Brr. The wind has been blowing like crazy the entire time I was up there. It was basically howling through that cabin. I also saw 4 or 5 day hikers that seemed like they were just doing the ski slope up and down. None of them came over and said hello, though. As far as tonight, I had intended to go down to Bromley Creek. I actually think I have enough water on me where I don't need to make it that far. It's 3 miles, so I could do it, but that'll be hiking in the dark. We'll see. That's better. Way better than sitting around inside till it got dark. Okay, got another mile or two in, so I have a little over a mile to the road now. I am meeting somebody early and I don't want to be late, so I like to minimize the chance of complications. I am basically on the lookout for some sort of a campsite I can use. Gets hard if it's much darker than this, but at least so far it's been kind of heavily vegetated. Okay, found this. Not quite as far off the trail as I normally like, but I'm going to be going early anyway. Just about a mile to get down to the road, so I'll be able to meet my friend early. Hopefully get some better coffee than what I have out here, and get my food and everything taken care of and back out on trail. Home sweet home. My plan had originally been to go down another half mile to a creek, but as it turned out, I have enough water for dinner, and since I'm going to get moving early, I'm not going to be drinking that much coffee. I can do with a little less. And this way I don't have to listen to presumably traffic noise for half the night.